They say the rain washes away the past, but that night, as the cold water soaked through my thin coat, it only sharpened my memory. My name is Eleanor Sterling. For 40 years, I called the mansion on Oak Ridge my home. I raised my son, Julian, within those walls. I buried my husband in the garden he loved. And tonight, my son and his wife, Tiffany, threw my suitcase onto the wet pavement like it was trash. "It's for your own good, Eleanor," Julian had said, not even looking me in the eye. "You're getting forgetful. This facility, it's top tier. You'll have a room, a bed, and someone to watch over you. We've already signed the papers." Tiffany didn't even hide her smile. She wanted my diamonds, she wanted my gardens for her garden parties. To them, I was just a ghost haunting a house they wanted to sell. But as I sat in the back of the taxi, watching my home disappear in the rearview mirror, I didn't cry. I reached into my pocket and felt the cold steel of a small USB drive. They thought I was forgetful. They thought I spent my days staring at the birds. They didn't realize that while they were out spending my husband's legacy, I was busy building my own. They were about to learn that the most dangerous person in the room is the one you choose to ignore. The facility was a gray, lifeless place on the edge of town. Julian hadn't picked top tier, he had picked cheapest. But I didn't care about the lumpy bed or the bland food. I had work to do. You see, Julian thinks he is a self-made tech mogul. He runs Sterling Innovations. He thinks he inherited his father's genius. My husband, Richard, was a dreamer, an artist. He couldn't balance a checkbook to save his life. I was the one who managed the books. I was the one who invested our small savings into a tech startup back in 1998. I never put my name on the company. I stayed in the shadows, protecting our family. Over 30 years, I moved money, bought shares, and created a shell company called the Legacy Syndicate. Julian and Tiffany lived a life of luxury because I allowed it. They drove Ferraris because I signed off on the corporate leases. And now, Julian's company was failing. He was desperate for a $50 million investment to save Project Phoenix. He had spent weeks begging the Legacy Syndicate for a meeting. He had no idea he was sending those emails to the woman he just dumped in a nursing home. Tuesday morning, the boardroom of Sterling Innovations was filled with the smell of expensive coffee and fear. Julian was sweating. Tiffany was wearing a Chanel suit she couldn't afford, trying to look like a CEO's wife. "The investor is late," Julian snapped at his assistant. "If we don't get this signature today, we lose everything." Suddenly, the heavy oak doors swung open. I didn't enter in a wheelchair. I walked. My silver hair was styled perfectly. I wore the black silk suit I had hidden in the back of my closet for years. The sapphire necklace, the one Tiffany tried to steal, glittered under the fluorescent lights. Julian's face went white. He looked like he'd seen a ghost. "Mom, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be... How did you get out?" I didn't answer him. I walked straight to the head of the table. The board members, men I had known since they were interns, stood up in shock. "Julian," I said, my voice as steady as a mountain, "you've been looking for the CEO of the Legacy Syndicate. Well, she's here. Sit down." Tiffany tried to speak, her voice high and shrill. "This is a joke. Julian, call security. She's senile. She's lost her mind." I threw a folder onto the table. "Those are the original incorporation papers of this very company, Tiffany. And these are the documents showing that the Legacy Syndicate owns 51% of your husband's shares. Shares he put up as collateral for his gambling debts and failed investments last year." Julian slumped into his chair. He looked small. "Mom, I was just trying to protect the house." You were trying to protect your vanity, Julian. You saw your mother as a liability. You forgot that I am the one who taught you to walk, and today I am the one who is teaching you how to fall. I looked at the board members. Effective immediately, Julian Sterling is removed as CEO. The mansion on Oak Ridge is being converted into a foundation for retired teachers, people who actually contribute to society. As for Julian and Tiffany, their corporate accounts have been frozen. Their leases have been terminated. I stood up, adjusted my coat, and looked at my son one last time. You told me the nursing home was for my own good. Well, Julian, being humbled is for your own good. I hope you find a job that pays well enough to rent a small apartment. I hear there's a vacancy in that nursing home you liked so much. I walked out of that building and into the sunlight. For the first time in years, I was truly home. Friends, sometimes we are told that our time is over just because of the gray in our hair, but wisdom is a weapon that never rusts. Did Eleanor go too far, or did Julian get exactly what he deserved? Tell me your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading every single one.